Hi guys, I have a new makeup palette which I wanted to show off to you. Here's my handy dandy makeup bag. It's pretty heavy, it's filled. Every corner is covered in different utensils in which I can use. So I'm going to show off the swatches, the palette, and the brushes that I use for this particular palette. I have the brand. I purchased the Naked Basics palette by Urban Decay. Now, Urban Decay has 3 palettes that are much larger than this. They have the Naked palette 1, 2, and 3. This is the smaller version. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors to this palette, whereas the newer palettes have, I want to say, a dozen, maybe 16 or so colors, all different shades. The first one and the second one are very similar palettes, very similar colors. The third one has a whole wide variety of rosy, very pretty light colors. It's very feminine, and the palettes are also very, very shimmery, whereas this is a matte-based palette. I'll show you up close the colors. The first one is called Venus, and it's a very light, very, very pretty base color. I would say this is the shiniest matte color that this palette has to offer. Matte colors are not typically shiny, but in my opinion it is. This is called Foxy, and Foxy is a bit darker, much more matte based. I like to mix Foxy and WOS together. It mixes the cream coloring and the champagne coloring, and you get this very nice pretty color. This one is called Naked number 2, and Naked number 2 is the in between the light color and the dark color. I think this is a good middle color. It's kind of when you're doing your makeup and you're going from a light color such as this to this, you want to use this as your dark color in the middle of your eye when you are blending. This color is called Faint, and I think Faint would be one of the corner coloring in the right or left corners of your eyes. And this is Crave. This is a very dark matte black coloring. It's very pretty though. This is the brush I am using for the lighter colors. It's from Sephora. It is a smudger, and this side is used for eyeliner. But what I do is I use this side for the lighter colors. You can see I haven't cleaned it in a while. And this I use for the corners and the kind of tough to reach areas in the eyelids. This is by Elf Cosmetics. It's nothing special, just a generic makeup brush. I don't really use it too much with this palette, only if I need to. It's not really a brush I'm fond of. It's not the best. This is another Elf Cosmetics brush. This is a blending brush, however, and I use this for the darker colors on the palette. This particularly works very well for the cost. This was $1. This was 20 something, $20. This one works so much better, but it gets the job done for what it is required to do. I use Naked number 2 and Faint with this brush. I rarely use Crave because I wear black eyeliner, so there's no point. Now I'm going to attempt to show you the swatches on a piece of paper. I do not know how well they're going to show up because they are pretty light colors, but I'm hoping they'll show up somewhat well. You can see how light it is. It doesn't show up too well on the paper because it's just so light. That is Venus. This is Foxy. Now Foxy shows up better. And you can see, if you can see, it's not too bright. The two swatches are very different, very light, darker. This is WOS. The third one is a much darker color. It's probably, in my opinion, the prettiest of all of these colors on the palette. It's a personal favorite for sure. Now using the blending brush, I'm going to show you Naked too. It's much darker. I think it's a very pretty color. It's neutral, which I like. This is Faint. Faint shows up probably the best out of all of these swatches so far. It is a very pretty color, and if you blend a shimmery color from a different palette, it transforms the entire color. And this is Crave. It's just a very matte black coloring. It almost reminds me of charcoal, but it definitely is a favorite for when I want to have a dramatic eye. I know it's not the best to see, but these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swatches from the Naked Urban Decay Basic palette.